This is for the record. Nita and 4 of my grandchildren are burnt and shot up.
Boy, some raw emotion there as a grandfather reacts to losing his loved one. CBS 5 investigates digging into this vicious ambush by a drug cartel in Mexico that left 9 Americans dead, including 6 children, and has now become an international incident with President Trump now involved. Arizona's family was the first to break this story to you last night. The victims, all dual U.S. and Mexican citizens. 8 children, however, survived. 5 are recovering tonight in a Tucson hospital. We have team coverage of this ambush. Chief investigative reporter Morgan Lowe is in Mexico tonight. But first, we go to Brittany Thomason, who talked with some of the victims' relatives.
The scene looks like a war zone.
This was an attack on families, women and children.
Many of his cousins shot and burned alive while driving from Sonora to Chihuahua for a wedding. The LeBaron family broke away from the Mormon church and have for years lived on a ranch there.
It's not just got caught in gunfire in the wrong place at the wrong time. This is a whole new level of cartel violence.
I spoke on the phone with a family member from Tucson who visited the hospital where the kids are recovering.
I just have a hard time understanding how somebody could kill that many women and children and act like it's not a big deal. 3
moms, 6 children dead.
When they stopped firing on the vehicles, the gunman approached, and seeing that the only survivors were the children, and they were wounded, but there was the 5 that were still alive. And they told him to get out of the vehicle, and they did. And then, so he hid his siblings under a tree.
After hiding the younger kids, he says an older child ran for help.
It's horrible. It's just horrible. The kids are traumatized, obviously, and they're not talking that much, which is also understandable based on what they've been through, based on what they've seen.
Well, President Trump responding to this story today, tweeting urging Mexico to, quote, wage war against the drug cartels and that America might assist in the effort. Now, Mexican President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador held a press conference earlier today where he thanked the president for his support, but said it is Mexico's responsibility to deal with this. Now, let me show you where this is all happening. It's in the state of Sonora, which, of course, borders the entire state of Arizona. This compound was about 70 miles south of Douglas. 3 vehicles, 2 of them about 10 miles apart from the last one splitting off, going about a 7-hour route to visit family members in Chihuahua. The one that was hit just outside of Visby was about 11 miles outside of the ranch compound, and you can see it was a dirt road, very rural area here. They were heading up north here to Phoenix to pick up family members at the airport. Let's go to Morgan Lowe, who is in Mexico tonight.
We are standing on the border just north of Agua Prieta, Mexico, where this terrible streak of violence began yesterday morning. Witnesses in this border town say they saw a convoy of vehicles carrying gunmen entering from the east. Shortly afterward, the sound of gunfire pierced the early morning silence. One of our contacts in Agua Prieta said the town was paralyzed for the entire day yesterday as authorities discovered bullet-ridden and burned-up vehicles and bodies. Locals tell us they believe that the gunmen were members of a drug gang from the nearby Mexican state of Chihuahua. Apparently, this area had suffered invasions like this several times in the past, even earlier this year. Meantime, about 100 miles southeast of here, members of the LeBaron family were leaving their homes yesterday in 3 separate vehicles when they apparently encountered gunmen. We do not know if these were the same gunmen who shot up Agua Prieta yesterday morning, but whoever it was opened fire, killing at least 3 women and 6 children. We are told there's a known feud between drug gangs in the state of Sonora and Chihuahua. One big question left tonight is whether the LeBarons were targeted or whether they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. On the border in Douglas, Arizona, I'm Morgan Lowe for Arizona's Family.